Sheto said that Floki left before you went on your voyage, but that is not true. Floki gave you his ring.
Perhaps you should ask Sheto what happened.
I am not asking Sheto. I think that you will tell me the truth if your God is watching.
Something serious.
How can we travel together if we do not trust each other?
Sheto and his son killed Eyvind and his whole family in cold blood.
You saw it, okay.
And Sheto had a beautiful, wise daughter called Eyvind, who killed herself because she could not live knowing what her father had done.
It's a flashback, but I'm glad we saw Floki.
She loved him for being a good man.
Do you think he is a monster?
I don't trust him. For all that's worth. Oh no! And when all these fucking speech about Bjorn having to be Bjorn, you know, in this situation, he's gonna have to stand and do something even though he's dying.
They are here. The Rus. The arrival of King Hakon and his forces helped, but we are still massively outnumbered. I suppose we can only hope to delay their final victory. So you have just given up. There is no use in pretending. The situation is bad. Made worse because you will not be there to lead any attack. Have you forgotten the gods? What is my name or yours compared to that of Odin and Thor? Do you suppose they will just sit idly by as they watch followers of the false Christ God slaughter and slay their children and cast their singing bones to the wind?
Oh my god.
You are no true believer. Why don't you just walk out of the gate? Surrender. Is that what we have come to? Is that how our world will end? Forgive me.
When if she's gonna be able to walk? I would be surprised if he can stand.
This is yours. My king.
And you know, they would have maybe had a chance if Harold had not done his fucking scheme and they had named Bjorn King of all Norway. Maybe people would have showed up then.
This is King Hakon of Norway. He has something to tell you.
What the? Why did he show up at Oleg's camp?
Life slips away.
Trying to calm
You
things?
have no part in this.
Make a pourparler, I guess.
Listen. Who can tell the saga of Bjorn Ironside? Perhaps only Odin, his ancestor. But unworthy as I am, it falls to me.
Bjorn Ironside is dead.
It's part of the plan.
I saw the body with my own eyes. His wives are lamenting over it. There's great sorrow in Kattegat. Great prince, invincible ruler, I throw myself upon your mercy. Spare me, and I will serve you gladly all the days of my life.
I knew him as a man. I knew his weaknesses. and I knew his strengths.
This is pretty cool. You can't just be dead like that.
And if you ask me,
No, she's not dead like that.
will we ever see his legs again?
They're making it really, really official though.
So
You
yeah,
can't, you know, it's a plan, right?
they're doing like the plan in Paris when they
Paris?
when they make them believe that Ragnar was dead.
Ouch.
Spread the good news. The great hero is dead.
I wanted to go down so bad.
Kattegat is at our mercy.
They're not gonna kill him like this, guys. It's the fucking son of Ragnar and Lagerthar. He's got something up his sleeve. But he's dying, but still. It could be Bjorn. He's like trying to cover up that he's actually dying, but he has to do this because it's him.
Oh.
His stomach was rent through with the fucking sword. Like, he's bleeding inside. He's got his stomach full of blood. He still fucking walked to his horse, got on, and went to the fucking battle. But he's gonna put doubt in everyone now. Because they thought he was dead, and now he showed up alive. Kind of like he came back to life. It's almost like he's insulting Jesus if you think about it.
Oh my gosh, really?
He's just taking it. Oh, and they're bringing back the song. Oh my god, he looks like our brother. He's fucking strong.
I knew him as a man. I knew his weakness and his strength. But if you ask me, will we ever see his like again? I would say no.
Oh my god. The music, they're just so cool.
He's carrying all of them alone.
I need you to help me put my armor on
Aw.
one last time
Aw.
and fetch my sword.
See, I knew they were not gonna kill him last episode because they needed to do this shit.
It's impossible.
Your brother's strong, man.
I told you, Ivar, you can't kill him. He's not a god. Neither are you.
He's just
freaking
fucking strong. They got their allies. Everyone, the kids, everyone. Because if they don't win here, they lose. Like, everyone dies.
It's all or nothing.
Yep. And he's giving them courage.
And so it happened. As my saga will tell, the kings and queens, the jarls and earls of Norway, answered the summons of Bjorn Ironside and came to save their country.
Good.
For he was truly the king of all Norway, and no one else could have united all his people and brought them to victory over the Rus.
badass as fuck. I can hardly see it. There's like too much tears.
Farewell, my brother. It gladdens me to know that Odin makes ready the benches for a feast. Soon, you'll be drinking ale from curved horns. The Valkyrie summon you home.
Even in death, Bjorn Ironside was victorious, which is one reason his name will never be forgotten, nor will they ever cease to sing of his exploits. The man who could not die is buried here, but is still alive.
It's a bit
Farewell,
morbid.
Bjorn Ironside.
They really know how to kill the main character.
Can you tell me why we started with this episode?
Because we like to suffer.
You talk.
Oh my goodness. Bjorn, I know that you cannot hear me because you're a fictional character, but
Well, no, he existed, but just not like that, you know?
well, yeah.
It wasn't the actual Bjorn.
But Ragnar and Lagertha will be so proud of you about what you achieve at the end. And even though that you said that you had many regrets about what you did throughout your life, I think that at the end you
prevailed.
yeah.
That was awesome. That was so badass. I'm just surprised a little bit about how they buried him. Cause I mean, I don't know what that does to their traditions, and you know, in death, like the body doesn't. In some cultures, I think if you don't treat the body a certain way after death, they don't get to go on. You know, they don't get to go to their heaven and stuff. I don't think it applies for the Vikings, but it was a bit morbid. But it weirdly enough, it reminded me of Christianity, but in a very badass way. It's kind of like he's dead, like he passed on. But even though he's dead, they kept him up. They kept him on his horse. They kept him, you know, holding the sword because he never truly died because his legacy is too strong for him to die. You know.
Yeah.
It was very, very badass. He went there, like, we knew he was gonna die. I'm a mess, I'm sorry. We knew he was gonna die starting from, I mean, last episode and even this episode beginning, you know, the episode is called King of Kings. It's a title of an episode where a main character dies. And I'm like, having him cough up blood, you know, it meant that he had blood in his stomach, which means that his stomach was open, you know,
Yeah.
like he was bleeding internally, and they did not have the means to heal that. He was dying before he went there, but he still chose.
It was a demon walking.
Yeah, but he still chose to show up because that's who he is. Like you said, he did have. I can hardly speak. I'm sorry.
Take your time. Take your time.
I hate when you say that. Stop it. He had regrets. I think having regrets is, you know, what made him human, because that meant he made mistakes and he wasn't perfect. But then what does that say? You know, Ivar is saying, like, he can't be a god and everything, and Fitz, like, with the shade next to him, like, neither are you. And I'm like, well, no, you're not gods. But because you're not gods, that makes this even more amazing, because as humans, you still push through death and push through pain and push through adversity and manage to do great things. And that's what Bjorn did. You know, he was dead, but then him not showing up, kind of like the others were saying, was gonna end the battle before it even began. You know, you don't want the rest to show up knowing they have won already, and the Vikings to fight back, thinking that this was they would have been better off running. Him showing up gave strength and courage to the people that were behind him, and I knew like people were gonna answer his call. Like we knew that last season, and I'm like, so much shit could have been avoided if he had the crown to begin with. I think because like there were a lot of people there that did not show up last episode.
Yeah.
But they I mean they came. They still came at the end, when they heard that he wanted them to show up. So that says a lot about him. That says a lot about his legacy and who he was as a person and his legend, and that's good. They definitely do know how to kill a main character in the show. They do that very well. Yeah. Some better than others, but the actual main characters all had great deaths.
Speaking about one's character's death, King Olaf
fucking surprised me.
Well, like I said, maybe King Olaf was never there because that guy was just such a mystery.
But it actually, some people did that before. When I was in Montreal still, I had a coworker that told me, I think it's a monk somewhere, I don't know, but he got killed. He got set on fire and he died without moving and without screaming or anything. So some people did that in history. It's a true thing. But then like, how do you have to be like so in touch with your body and so like at peace with everything to not scream when all your nerves are screaming in pain? Because this is the worst, like not the worst death according to, depending on your fears and stuff, because for me it's drowning, but it's the most painful death that there is, some people have said. So yeah, for him to die, not moving, not screaming, just completely at peace with the fact and with the pain and with where it was going to go, like that showed a lot of strength.
Even heard Jesus.
Oh, that was like, I thought that was a
what
low
he
blow.
said. That's such a low blow to your leg.
Well, no, but
it's
interesting because we see the concept of the Vikings gods and the Christians god and everyone's god. We talked about this. I remember actually saying during a reaction of Viking, during a discussion after that, as far as we know, we all talk about the same god. It's just that we have different ways of understanding it.
We already said it in previous seasons that both gods from both religion technically appear to both the Christian and both the Vikings. Like God and Jesus both appear to spoke to some Vikings like Ragnar, maybe even Athelstan, so both gods technically. And just like Uba just said right now, maybe God is just the All-Father, but just through another name.
Because I mean, the way he said it, he says that the Christians' Christ is Jesus, yes, but they pray. We can pray to whoever. Like when you're a Christian, you can pray to Jesus, you can pray to God, you can pray to Mary, you can pray to so many people. So, but the way he said it, it was like, oh, your Christ is Jesus, and Jesus looks up to the All-Father. So basically, your religion follows our religion because we're the bigger religion. Yes, I don't know if he meant it as a jab, but to me, it just sounded like we're all the same. We all follow the same person. Let's be friends, And we talked about this before, and we see it here again. I think, depending, and Athelstan was also a proof of that. And Uba was also proof of that at one point. Depending on who you need and what you need in your life, the faith that will give you the most will come to you. So if you need a sign, if you feel lost, if you need something in life, you're gonna get help from what will give you help. If Ragnar did not get answers from his gods, it's because he needed something different. And then he got Athelstan. And Athelstan showed him another way. Athelstan was also having doubts. He needed something else. He needed something different. He got, the gods of the Vikings. He got Odin for a while. And then when he started questioning himself again and he went to Wessex and he reconnected with his roots, he needed his god to come back. And he got him to come back, They're all there. In the show they did, I mean, we had proof that they were there, so I'm gonna say they're all there.
True.
Everyone is there. Depending on who you need, whoever you need the most is gonna show up when you need him. Olaf did not know if he believed in his own gods at the end, so when he was about to die, it's Jesus who showed up. They're all together, you know, relaying each other's job. Like, I don't feel like it today. You just go down there and give them strength, you know.
Something like that, yeah.
I think it depends on what they need as a person. In any case, that's how I'm gonna see it. You know, everyone is the same. Everyone prays to their own version of God, depending on what they prefer, and it's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a low blow though not a low blow, but it was funny to have Olaf basically say that their Christian God was with them in death because they're all Christian, you know? And they did mention last episode that it was, you know, a battle of religion and, you know, on top of being just a battle of territory and stuff. So
yeah.
To have Olaf be like, well, the Christian God is with me. That was funny.
Guys. Who do you think helped Carol escape?
Ivar. I'm gonna say Ivar because he's the only one in there that would play a game like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Why would Oleg do that?
Oleg wouldn't just let King Harold escape just like that.
Unless it's like Ivar right after this, well, I mean, right during that scene and stuff, he was saying to the prince that they need to be friends with the people that are close to the king. So maybe the person who set Harold free is close to the king. They've been mentioning that maybe, what's her name? His wife, Oleg's wife.
Katya?
Katya? Okay, Katya could be trying to play Ivar for Oleg, but then some people say that maybe she is playing Oleg for Ivar. So, I mean, she's just, I don't trust her still, but...
Well, with just only what I saw, I wouldn't say that she's playing Oleg for the account of Ivar.
But some people say
Right
that she is, so she's confusing as a character. So I would not trust her just yet, and Ivar is right not to trust her right now. But she could be one of the... I mean, she could be who he meant by someone close to the king. It could also be, you know, someone in his guard that we don't know about. We've seen some faces that have come back here and there. Mm-hmm. It could be one of them. But if it is, well, we can't guess right now because we don't know them enough. So we will see, but now that Bjorn is gone, it means that Kattegat is still Kattegat with its people. And Oleg will still need to fight at one point. Like, I don't know if he's going to try again, but I would not put that above him.
I think he's going to be so pissed that he's going to try again to plan an attack.
Oh, but that was so cool. The fight and everything. That was just
so well done.
And the way everyone showed up.
The soundtrack also, that was just so sad.
That's one thing, you know, whenever we finish a show, we tend to have a discussion about how we thought the show handled, you know, everything, characters, music, and stuff. We've had shows with flaws before and shows that had no flaws, but it had some flaws, but Breaking Bad. Even now, I still try to think of flaws. I hardly can tell, but still, one thing that is definitely not going to be a flaw in Viking is the music.
Oh yeah.
The fucking music is beautiful.
You can be proud.
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah. It was a great farewell to Bjorn, and now we need to focus on Ivar, who also has to fight Oleg at one point. Mm-hmm. So now, I mean, we have one season.
Do you think that maybe Ivar might be inspired by the last act of his brother?
Inspired? I don't think so. I think that what it did though is, if there is one person in that army who does not respect him at this point, they're crazy. You know? Ivar and Bjorn have been fighting each other over and over again. You know, it's been going for some time now. There was talk about the gods abandoning Bjorn. There's also talk of, you know, Bjorn not carrying Ragnar's legacy. And Ivar thinking that he was, you know, above Bjorn and stuff. I think, and it showed in his face, you know, when he saw his brother like that, it definitely showed that Ivar respected and was in awe of his brother. Like he could not understand what was going on there. Bjorn showed some strength in that last act, and it was beautiful and powerful and terrifying if you were against him in that moment.
Yeah.
I think he definitely respects his brother. I think he always respected his brother. It's just that in recent years, and the recent fights too,
But it's very deep down inside.
well, he started pitying him at one point, especially last episode, and I think that in that one single act, Bjorn was basically saying, I don't need pity because I'm a motherfucker, you know? I'm a badass motherfucker. Sorry. But
his
still.
motherfucking Aaron side.
And it hurt them, you know? It's their brother. It's sad to see him go like this, and Witzerk also he did the parting words, which is interesting because Bjorn is the one that cast him away.
Yeah.
I think that despite everything that happened between all these brothers, they've always cared about each other, and Bjorn was their big brother. He was the eldest. He was the one that took care of them when they were kids. So I'm gonna cry again. We need to go back and watch like season 1, 2, 3.
All right.
For the feels! Oh.
So we just watched Bjorn's fall. He was a great character.
No, he never fell. Bjorn's fault. He never fell. He's still on the horse.
He's still on that horse. Yeah. So we just finished the episode, guys. If you want to watch the next one, it is already up on our Patreon. You can click on the link below to watch it now.
Yes, and if you want to watch it on YouTube, the next episode will be next week. Sorry, by the way, about how long it took for this episode to come out. We took a little break because in between seasons, sometimes we want to catch up with everything. But yeah, I think we deserve that break because this episode was crushing. So yeah, we'll see you next week, or right now if you go on Patreon. So see you guys. Bye.
Bye, guys.